Have you ever felt like you're just stuck? You know the trading basics. You've even had some wins, but your growth has totally flatlined. Well, today, we're going to dive into a method designed to shatter that ceiling and get you from amateur habits to professional consistency. So let's jump right in.
So why does this happen? It's because most traders get stuck in a loop, just repeating the same basic stuff over and over again. They learned about support and resistance, maybe a couple of candle patterns, and then that's it. Their learning just stops. They're missing a deeper, systematic strategy to really take them to the next level. And this right here, this visual says it all. The amateur's journey is this frustrating plateau where you have a good day, then a bad day, and you end up going nowhere. But the professional, they're on a path that allows for exponential growth. And the difference isn't some kind of magic secret. It's just structure. And that structure has a name, the Confluence method. I want you to think of it like a powerful triple filter system for every single trade you consider. It's all about instilling discipline and logic, forcing you to patiently wait for only the absolute best A-plus setups. This brings us to the core idea, what we call the kill zone. Confluence is that sweet spot where a bunch of different factors all line up perfectly, all screaming that this is a high probability trade. And with our triple filter, the rule is dead simple. If any one of the three filters says no, you don't take the trade. Period. End of story. So here they are, the three pillars of the entire system. First, we figure out the big picture trend. Second, we find a very specific area of value on our chart. And third, we patiently wait for a precise entry signal. You layer these three steps together, and that's how you create the kill zone. All right, so let's see how this actually works. How do we go from these concepts, this theory, and turn it into a practical, repeatable plan that you can actually use to find trades? Everything, and I mean everything, starts with pillar one, the macro trend. We're going to start on the daily chart because we want to see what the big institutions, the smart money, are doing. If they're clearly buying, then we are only looking for opportunities to buy. We never ever fight the main current. Now pay attention because this is a huge distinction. Amateurs tend to draw these little razor-thin lines for support and resistance. Professionals, we don't do that. We think in terms of thick zones. These supply and demand zones are areas where tons of institutional orders are sitting. Price is way more likely to react inside a zone than at one specific little line. Okay, so we've got our macro trend. Now it's time for pillar two. We drop down to the 4-hour chart and we find our zones. And here's the hard part. We wait. We patiently wait for the price to pull back into one of our zones. We do not chase the price. Trading in the middle of the chart in what I call no man's land is just a recipe for disaster. And finally, pillar three. Once the price has entered our 4-hour value zone, we zoom in, way in, to the 15-minute chart. This is where we look for our green light, a specific candlestick pattern, like a big engulfing candle, that confirms buyers have officially stepped in and taking control right at that key level. This is the last piece of the puzzle we need.